Good morning, cousin. I absolutely love it when members of my coven come to visit Weirdbrook. This last weekend was one of our new moon immersion weekends where we invite the Spellcrafters Guild, which is the name of our coven, to come to Weirdbrook to rehabilitate, to participate in what's going on here at the homestead. This is a 200-year-old farmhouse, a 7-bedroom, 200-year-old farmhouse on an 80-acre homestead in rural New England. And it is a witch's dream, just for like starters. But what we're able to do in person, both magically and emotionally and mentally, that kind of rehabilitation it's pivotal. And I love that we now have the opportunity to engage in person in this way. I have been here at Weirdbrook since October of last year. And having a physical location for our coven to connect and to do ritual together has been a long time coming. Let's just, to say the least, long time coming. And we have that now. And man, this weekend was amazing. We were able to do our new moon ritual, which the new moon ritual on the path of a witch born of shadow is dancing. It's very embodied. Manifestation is very embodied on this path. And so we go out to the barn. We have big, huge speakers out in the barn, and we danced together to charge the seeds that we are going to be planting on this homestead as we move toward food sovereignty. And it was absolutely incredible. It was absolutely incredible. And the witches left this morning before the live. And there's this like voop feeling when they leave. It's very interesting. So it's a lot. I know I just shared a lot, but hi and good morning. This is our divination ceremony. We're asking specifically, where does our attention need to be today in order to bring the most expansion in our relationship with our life and our practice? And we're going to get right to it. Happy spring equinox, everyone, and happy autumnal equinox to our southern hemisphere witches. I see you. All right. I'm going to start by taking 3 deep breaths, and then I'm just going to get into it. All right. Okay. Oh, yeah. Before I forget, today, Gentle reminder to the coven, today is our belief release ceremony on our virtual platform in the app that we made. So don't forget, today is that. I humbly invite all that is fire within this system to witness this working. And if alignment is found, may you choose to bless this flow. I humbly invite all that is air within this system to witness this working. And if alignment is found, may you choose to bless this flow. I humbly invite all that is earth within this system to witness this working. And if alignment is found, may you choose to bless this flow. I humbly invite all that is water within this system to witness this working. And if alignment is found, may you choose to bless this flow. I beckon to this system. May we now align as one. For my cousins are the elements, and so the moon and sun. I call to those who love me. You are welcome in this space, for our nature is united, sharing magic, life, and grace. Now we make a declaration of intention. What are we doing? I choose now in this moment to align with my whole self, to pull the book that tells my story from its place upon the shelf. I enter now this circle made of trust and hope and power, and I show up for my practice in this place and at this hour. Because I am home. Things are very loud this morning. Usually I can stay really like pretty focused and present when I'm doing that particular ceremony. My system's very familiar with it, but today there's this like chatter coming in. Before I get going, I want to like give it some attention. Clearly it needs it because so I how do I say this? Are your guides highlighting matriarchy and patriarchy? Are you hearing a lot about the patriarchy and what a matriarchal society looks like? Those like two sides of the coin. Is that highlighted in your life right now? And if it is, um, and you are curious, so most of us are raised in a patriarchal um, world. We have that world view, which is hierarchical. It's rooted in control, controlling your emotions, controlling your environment, controlling those in your life, behaving. And a matriarchy is so different. It's not women in place of men in the same worldview that you were raised in. A matriarchy is so different that you can't even see it. You can't even experience it until you address your current worldview. That's a deconstruction process. That's what deconstruction is is looking at how you what you currently believe, how you were raised, how that influenced how you think the world works. And this is what foundations is. You hear us talking about foundations all the time. Foundations is structured like an initiation process. Most traditions have some kind of initiation process. But this foundations is specifically geared, curated for the neurodivergent black sheep cycle breakers lived experience. to get you from a patriarchal worldview and perspective to address how you were influenced by that so that you can self actualize within a matriarchy, which is what the Spellcrafters Guild, our coven, is a matriarchy. And the way that we navigate life is very different. The way that we engage with each other, the way we have conversations, what we talk about, even is very different. So if your guides are like, hey, this like patriarchy, matriarchy thing is really important. And if you are looking for a process, we have one for you. We have one. And all of the proceeds from that process that is very well supported, by the way. It's again caters to neurodivergent minds, and we learn in so many different ways. We knew that we had to approach this process in as many different ways as we possibly could so that it would be effective. As we're chaos witches, we're about what is effective, right? And so there's videos, there's workbooks, there's meetings, there's all kinds of stuff to help you through this process. It is the most difficult thing you'll ever do in your life, but it is the best thing you will ever do for your relationship with your life. And the summer class is actually enrollment is open now for the summer class. We only do this, take witches through this process 4 times a year. It opens 4 times a year around the solstices and the equinoxes, and that's very, very intentional in this whole thing. So if you're looking for support, support is available for you. Yes, you have to compensate the witches that invest their time, their physical, mental, and emotional labor into your process. It's like $35 a month. It is a 13-month program process, and all of the proceeds of that go directly to the operations of an international resource center for neurodivergent witches. So that is run by a matriarchy. So, okay. All right. That being said, let's do this. Yeah, foundations, what Anna said, foundations is again designed by autistic and witches with ADHD that know what your lived experience like we get it. We get it. And foundations requires you to embody the work. It's paced in a way that you have to take the time to embody the work. If you don't embody it, what's the fucking point? What are you doing? So, yeah, we know. We did. We designed it in that way. A lot of us are big time overachievers because we're super competent in a lot of ways. And most of us are like, hey, just give me the book and I'll read it and be a pro at it. I'll know all the things, but knowledge isn't enough. We're at a time that we need wisdom. Knowledge embodied is wisdom. And so we set it up to where you can't get through foundations without embodying the work. And you're supported by a bunch of witches who have embodied the work. So you can actually see what it looks like. What does it look like to have this specific relationship with whatever it is we're talking about? And what we're talking about is things like boundaries, coping mechanisms, your relationship with your body, your relationship with masking, like those kinds of things. If you're like, what does that have to do with being a witch? It has everything to do with being a witch. Well, it has everything to an effective magical practice. Your It has everything to do with your influence on the physical world. Your influence on the physical world is directly connected to your relationship with your life and with yourself. That's why we start there. I don't care who you are. Even my mama has to go through foundations in order to initiate into my coven. Even my mom. So you have to embody the work. You have to do it. All right. Where does our attention need to be today to bring the most expansion in our relationship with our life and our practice? And I left my glasses downstairs because I was sketching out the plans for the garden beds at Weirdbrook, which is going to be a labyrinth, by the way, because we're overachievers and it's so cool. But I left my glasses there. It's going to be great. All right. We drew the 3 of Cups reversed. Angle it to the light. You've lost touch with friends or loved ones due to responsibilities or a busy schedule. Put some extra effort to reconnect with those people to ensure those relationships remain strong. There may also be some gossip in your inner circle, so keep an ear to the ground. The upright position is you're entering a happy time in your life. You may be reconnecting with long lost friends, relatives, or loved ones. Or you may be celebrating something important to you. Spend quality time with the people most important to you. Oh, this is good. I'm trying not to influence you. If your guides were using this card to communicate something about your relationship with your life, what are they talking about? I'm letting you brew before I go all Kool-Aid man on your interpretation. Ah. All right, guys. You ready? You know how we've been talking about, again, I'm going to keep bringing it back to this choice of how you want to engage with your lived experience, right? This year is the year of wild success. Anything you put your attention, you invest yourself into is going to be wildly successful. So, if you know that anything you put your attention to is going to be wildly successful, why not manifest the life of your dreams, right? What do you really want, right? That's going to happen. And if it's happening within a sun cycle, which it generally does, at least for my practice, you're going to be in full mode by June. Like you're going to be real busy. People talk about manifestation a lot, about how manifest the life of your dreams, manifest success, but they don't talk about how much it takes to to harvest all of that. It's not about bringing it into fruition. It's about, are you capable of actually storing that? What are you going to do with all of that? It Takes a lot of attention, and honestly, it takes a community to do that. The more successful you are, the more you're really gonna need people. You're gonna need community. And that's a whole thing. This card is about that, like, you can become really successful and then look around and you're completely by yourself because you got caught up in all of it and you left those you care most about behind. And so this card is like, hey, before we get into super successful mode, why not check in with those you care about the most and let them know how you feel about them and give them the data of, hey, I'm about to be in a really busy time and I'm not going to be all that great about initiating contact. Can you, like, if you think about me, reach out because I care very much about our relationship and I'm concerned that I'm going to be really busy in the coming months, right? And bring them along with you in this success as much as you can. That's how you can bring them along with you. And if you don't have relationships that you can have those kinds of conversations with, foundations, like, you need to come through foundations. It's once you have relationships with people that you can be that clear in communicating, you will never go back. Your boundaries and communication will never be the same and what you tolerate with anyway. If you don't have friends or a support group or something like that, now's the time to look for that. Uh, invest in cultivating those core relationships as much as you can. That's what this card is talking about. How does that feel? You guys are very quiet. I mean, you can be a lurker and like hang out, but engage. Let me know I'm not like dropping a Yoda bomb or something. Didn't feel that deep. All right. Now we're going to look at what we're in resistance to or in denial of that is blocking our shit. In other words, how are we getting in our own way? The Nine of Cups reversed. You may have gotten something you've always wanted and it just wasn't what you expected. Maybe you're struggling to get somewhere and you're not making any progress. Your self esteem has taken a hit and your desires are a never ending black hole. Maybe you need to focus on quality over quantity. And the upright position is you've struggled with finding purpose and comfort after a loss. The journey has been long and arduous, but you've finally reached a point where you're feeling joy again. Profound happiness is in your future. Now is a great time to chase any dreams you've had. Remember, this is what you're in resistance to or in denial of that is influencing your relationships with your closest support. I'm letting you brew on this, is what's happening. Try not to influence you. I can hear a ladybug in my room. Just heard it. It's airborne, guys. So this is me giving you context in case I like jump up screaming. I have a very strong like fight or flight response when it comes to like flying things in general. All right. So yeah, the Jaws theme. Shut up. Okay. it's not lost on me that I just kind of touched on this a little bit of like, you're going to be wildly successful, right? And whether or not you're bringing others with you is really important. That uh because this card is about being like successful, but it maybe wasn't quite what you thought it was going to be like, or you like shot for one thing and you got something else. It's about like satisfaction and wish fulfillment. So to me, it feels almost like in this placement that you are like unsure of the outcome, then and that's kind of holding you back from. Ooh, hold on just a second. So it's almost like this feeling signature of you doubt that it's going to be this wonderful thing. Both of these cards are talking about happiness is incoming, the joy is incoming, right? But having this be in this position, it's almost like you're resistant to allowing yourself to actually accept that joy is incoming. And therefore, you are not positioning yourself in a way to support massive joy incoming. Does that make sense? It's like you feel like you're being indulgent or smug if you're solid in your knowingness that this is the big thing. And so you're not talking to your friends about it. You're not really making a big deal out of it because what if you make a big deal out of it and it's nothing? It's not that big. Some twisty stuff, guys, right? Like, I don't wanna tell anybody that this big amazing thing is I see this on my path and I'm going for it. I'm working for it this year. I don't wanna tell anyone because what if I'm wrong? And so you're not doing the things like reaching out to your friends and being like, "Hey, I really appreciate you. I have a feeling I'm gonna be real busy. So can you support me?" You don't wanna look like a fool. You don't wanna be uh the gossip, the thing that people are gossiping about, right? Uh, Ocean says the trauma work was expected, but no one tells you about the shadow work that comes with embracing joy. Yeah. Success is one of the most difficult things for black sheep and cycle breakers to accept because they're just like, we're always waiting for the other shoe to fall. We're always waiting for the next thing because most of us have been in survival mode our whole lives because we're isolated. We have to do everything ourselves. And that is a lot of physical, mental, and emotional labor. So, yeah, it's to actually accept joy and acceptance and belonging is the most difficult thing for us to do. Yes, Anna. Yeah. The short of it is abso-fucking-lutely. Yeah. But there's a twist to that. So Anna's asking, is it possible that my old way of thinking is just waiting for the other shoe to drop? Is there is still there and I need to consciously choose joy every day? What we're talking about is neuroplasticity, right? This isn't even woo-woo stuff. This is we have a neural pathway that says uh, that the other shoe is going to drop, right? And so when you identify that you're just waiting for the next bad thing to happen, when you catch yourself uh, going, walking down that path through the woods, you stop and say, "No, that isn't true. I am allowed joy in my life." Right? Meet it with your truth and choose to engage with your life as if it is true. And it's a choice. Every single time you choose that, the other pathway will die off and this will be your default. It sounds like a lot, but you're in foundations, aren't you? You will learn how to do this. We teach it. It's 101 stuff of this metacognition of actually figuring out how your mind actually works so that you can show up in the fullness of your authority as the advocate for your system. Yeah. Okay, guys. This is a good one. Our relationship with success and manifestation uh, is such a common thing in neurodivergent witches that it is we spend a whole month on it in foundations in May. We call it May. We call it the wishing moon, and it looks at our relationship with manifestation, which looks at our fear of success because that's a whole thing too. Yeah. So, Bridget, saying, and that happiness hurts. Need new paths to joy. Love this. Yes. I would go so far as to say that our resistance to feeling discomfort, sorrow, grief, um, is actually the problem. It's not the joy thing. Our obsession with only feeling or chasing after joy and peace and tranquility and like perfection, that is a part of our conditioning. Believe it or not, it runs deep. It's part of our conditioning. The truth is that the human experience is about all of it. We are allowed to feel the full spectrum of our experience. And when you get to that point of acceptance of your path of like, hey, I'm on the experience shit. That's what I'm here to do. And the whole game is to experience that shit and engage with it in a way that you are proud of, period. Right? If you never experience that resistance, that if you never have to show up for grief, you are not truly loving. If you if you are never having to navigate discomfort, you are never truly comfortable. Without contrast, what are you doing? But again, we were taught to avoid discomfort at all costs. And that actually keeps us bound, like in ways you can't imagine yet, but you will, and it'll piss you off too. Big part of this process is that, like those motherfuckers. Okay, that is our reading for the day. I will be back tomorrow morning to do this all over again. We're going to check in. For those of you in the Spellcrafters Guild, in our coven, I will see you in a few hours at our belief release ritual, where we identify these beliefs and we let go of them in ritual together as a coven. All right, let's close out this working. So, hand on your heart, take a deep breath. This working is now closing, but the magic has just begun. I humbly thank the elements and both the moon and sun. To all who chose to bless this flow, we now sincerely thank you. May our practice be expansive and our course be clear and true. This is fun. You guys are great. And remember, if you can't be good at it. And I'll see you tomorrow.